Hey guys, welcome back to my home. Today we're going to talk smart home. I know a lot of people have been asking what am I running, what do I recommend smart home wise. So I'm going to take you through what I got going on in my house. It's pretty basic in my opinion, but you can do it as you wish. First of all, I have Verizon Fios, and number one thing you're going to want to do if you're even thinking about smart home is to get the better router for Verizon Fios. Now I only have like the 100 megabyte setup, but my router was the old Action Tech router and it was terrible. So I was literally getting like 5 megabytes at night when we were on all the tablets, and when you have all this stuff hooked up to your Wi-Fi, it ends up being tying everything up. So I recommend getting the better router, and then with that you can do a lot of other things, even just a better router I've noticed, because the old Action Tech router doesn't even have 5G on it, so you can't even do the high speed on it. So with the new router I've been able to get in and do all the other stuff, so that was the best way to go. So I got my little helper with me today. Say hi. So she's gonna walk around with us and I'll show you around my house. So here in the front of my house is the den. This is where the router is. I got the new Action Tech router. It's right here where the computer is, so I have it out in the open. My old one I had underneath and it doesn't do as well when it's underneath. So in this room I have the router. I have an Ethernet switch so I can control all my wired stuff. And this light here is the only thing that I have on one of the wall switches. Now, you have to understand, I run everything on the Smartthings hub like I explained in one of the videos. The Smartthings hub works in Z-Wave and Zigbee. So what it is the hub itself connects to your Ethernet, and then from there it controls everything via Z-Wave and Zigbee. So it's almost like a mesh network, but anything and anything can be added to it, which is nice, and it doesn't tie up your Wi-Fi because it only uses the Ethernet. So it's not a bunch of Wi-Fi switches and bulbs and everything else. So it is kind of nice for that. I do have other Wi-Fi things as far as cameras and stuff like that, but I don't tie all my switches and lights into Wi-Fi. Most of them are tied in through the Z-Wave. So that is nice to have. So I have this bulb, it's on a switch, which is the plug-in switch that connects to the Z-Wave, the Smartthings. So you can buy those. I think they're probably about $20 or $30. So that's one way to run bulbs like this, is to connect them to the switches that you just plug into the wall and plug an outlet. And it also has a button on it so you can do it manually too. The other option is to do the bulbs, which I do have over here, because these two lamps are my only lights in the living room. So each of those have I think I'm using the Sengled bulbs, the SEN GLED Sengled bulbs. They make some good bulbs. I believe they're about $10 to $15 a piece. They're just a standard A19 bulb, so standard, lamp bulb. So those connect to the Smartthings as well. It's pretty simple. You plug it in, you turn the light on, you go on the Smartthings app, and you start it up, and it'll connect to the things. Yes, babe.
Look at Sprout.
Oh yeah?
Sprout.
No way.
Look it.
Awesome. Can I continue my video?
No.
So with these bulbs, all you do is you plug them in, you turn them on. You screw them in, you turn them on, and then you go on your app and Samsung will recognize them, and you can just add it to the system. Usually they're that easy. Sometimes they have to be reset, but they come with directions. They're not that hard at all, trust me, even for someone who's not advanced. The other big item, and the one thing I recommend everybody to get, whether with Smartthings or not, is a Wi-Fi thermostat. Now you're going to pay probably $200 on average for a good one. I chose to go with the Honeywell. I think this is the 9000 series. But as you can see, it has all the display on it. You can change the colors of the backgrounds. But the best part about this is you can set up it's all digital, and through the app you can set up schedules. You can turn the heat up and down from anywhere. So if I'm in Florida and I forgot to turn the heat down, just go on my app, I can turn the heat down, which is really convenient. It has all circulation schedules, so if you want to have the fan on but not the heat, you can set that up at different times of the day, so you can always recirculate your house, which is kind of nice. So it really has a lot. You can even hook up humidifiers to some of these and wire them right in. The only thing I will recommend with this, and the problem even I had in a newer house, is the wiring. If you have an older house with old thermostat wiring, most of these fancy thermostats are not going to hook up that easy. You're going to have to rewire it. Now, I was able to fish wires through here because I actually needed 7 wires to hook this up. Most of you only need 5, but I had a couple extra things I had to wire up. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you can, if you have the ability to wire it up, because that does help a lot, and it's very convenient for setting schedules. Like if you ever see the Nest thermostat commercials where you like come home and the GPS realizes you're home, so it turns the thermostat up. Most of these all do that. You can set it up, especially with the Smartthings or with an app or something like that. You can get that all set up. So the other thing I have is, let me talk about switches. So other thing you can do with the Smartthings is you can actually get switches. Now I have the Decora switches in my house. So this is what the actual GE switch looks like. And it works the same. You just tap it. It actually sits in the middle. But if you can see in the lights behind me here, when you tap it, you just click it and it goes on, and then you can dim it by holding it. Now there's dimmer ones, there's regular ones, so there's different options. So this one is actually a dimmer one, so I can dim the bulbs down in the kitchen island. Unfortunately, these lights, they're just coming out with bulbs now, the BR bulbs for the pot lights. I do have one on that single one under the sink. I think that's also a singlet bulb. So I did that instead of doing the switch because it's kind of a waste. The switches actually run about $40 to $50 for a wall switch, so it can get pricey. So if you're thinking about doing the switches, like I have, I think 6 of them in the house-ish, and I'd like to get more because I would love to run these pot lights up here in the ceiling. There's 5 of them on the one switch. So if you have something like that, it's easier to do the switch because then you can flick on all of them and you can dim all of them. Because most of my bulbs are LED, I switched them all over, so they're at least LED. So I do like that. So I want to get some more switches because some of the bigger bulbs. I also have one in the dining room, which is also a dimmer. And then if you want, these are really nice. If you're handy with electrical or you know an electrician, you can have this. It just swaps out with your normal outlet, but it actually gives you USB ports, and you can actually get the fast charging USB ports too. So we have a couple of those around the house for charging up phones because this is where we charge most of our stuff. So those are nice to have. It's a simple thing. It's not really a smart thing, but it is newer on the market, so it does come in handy. You can do that. As far as the switches go, they connect the same as the bulbs and stuff like that when it comes to Smartthings. You can buy Wi-Fi switches if you want to go that route. You can buy Bluetooth ones, but obviously you have to be in range. Like these, I could be in Florida and I could turn the lights on and off because it's connected ultimately to my Wi-Fi. So anything that's connected to Wi-Fi, I can turn off from anywhere, which is an advantage. If I'm out and I forget to turn the lights off, I can go on my phone and I can just flick a switch and turn everything off, turn everything on. I can make it look like I'm home. I even added switches when I did the patio last year. So I have 2 smart switches out there to turn the fans on and off and to turn the lights on and off. And ultimately with the Smartthings, you can have it so that it knows all these lights. So when it's the end of the night, I have a bedtime button. When I'm going upstairs, I just hit the bedtime and it shuts everything off, including the TV, because it connects to the Harmony. If you're not familiar with the Harmony, Logitech Harmony, they have a hub for running TVs and accessories. I had that a long time ago. It was one of the first things I had. That's another nice thing to have if you don't have a universal remote. I highly recommend at least a Logitech Harmony hub, which is like $100. It actually does lights and stuff too a little bit. They're coming a long way from what they were. It used to be just TV. So that's another nice thing. That'll connect up to Smartthings and obviously Amazon Echo. Which is the 2 main things that run my house are the Smartthings and the Amazon Echo, because that's what everything connects to. Like the Amazon Echo handles all the voice related stuff, and the Smartthings I can do from any app on any of the iPads or phones or anything like that. I can go on there, I can turn lights off. I have the go+control+garage+door+opener, which will not connect to the Echo because of security reasons, but I can run it through my Smartthings, which comes in really nice actually. You wouldn't realize it, but like if I'm out and about and a package gets delivered or something, my neighbor can actually throw it in my garage. He'll text me, I'll open the garage real quick, he can drop it in the garage, I can close the garage after he leaves. So it does come in handy for something like that when you're out of town and somebody needs to get in. All they gotta do is just go in there and I can all they do is text me and I can open it. So that's a really neat thing. I think those run about $100 for that, and you just have to wire it in line with your switch to your garage door opener, so it's not very hard. It has to be plugged in, so you have to have an extra outlet up there. But that's another nice thing. In my family room, there's 2 more lamps, which I think I'm running the crid connected bulbs on those, which you can get at Home Depot. I'll link everything below if you're interested in any of these products, I'll have a list of it below so you can check them all out. So I started with the Samsung Smartthings hub, was mainly what I wanted to do for all the switches and lights and everything. So I started there, then I added on a thermostat because I wanted to make it a smart home thermostat. I looked at the Nest, I looked at all those, but I ended up going with the Honeywell just because I wanted a bigger display. I didn't like the circle look that much, so I wanted to go with a more traditional rectangular look. So that's been doing great. What else do I have? I got the cameras, I got the Wise cams, I got one facing the back patio here, I got one in the front yard, I got one or two in the basement and one in the garage. Just for security. They're easy, they're 25 bucks a piece, they connect to the Wi-Fi, so those are strictly Wi-Fi, but I can pull them up. If you have like an Amazon Echo tablet or Fire tablet, you can it'll actually pull up and connect to that, so you can actually put the video on the tablet, which is kind of nice if you wanted to see it. And then last but least, the Amazon Echo. I have 3 of them. I have the Echo speaker, the big one here, I have one in the basement, and I have one upstairs in the master bedroom. That connects to everything I just explained. It will connect to the thermostat, it will connect to the Smartthings, it'll connect to the garage door opener, but it won't do it. I don't know why, I think they're still trying to figure that out, but I also have front lights on a switch, so I have one switch that runs my front lights, so I set it through Smartthings to come on at sunset. If you just put it at sunset, or you can do a specific time, it'll actually come on at that time and it'll go off at sunrise. So I don't even have to do the outside lights, they do it themselves, which is really nice. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything else. That's the bulk of it. I mean, it's pretty simple. All these other guys, they have all different things. They got sensors. I mean, I have one motion sensor up front. Oh, I got the door sensors. They come with the Samsung kit, which is nice to have, especially during the summer. Like, you'll know when the kids ran outside to go play or something like that, because you can set it up the sensor to send you a notification on your phone or something like that. So that's kind of convenient, just to keep track of them. But I mean, there's not really, that's the basics. I mean, a lot of these guys, you can get smart locks. Those are nice for your front door or for your garage door coming into the house. So you can control that via, and then you can also link that in with, say, Echo or something like that, where you go on your phone and unlock it right before you get home. You can hook it to GPS, so if you come home, GPS will know you're coming home, so it'll unlock the door for you. I used to have it set up on Smartthings where I could actually, when my phone came home, the lights would come on the house and it would open the garage door as I was coming down the street. So I could literally just back into the garage and not have to push the garage door button. Very convenient. I mean, that's just the tip of what you can do with some of this stuff, and that's why it's so fun. I mean, now they're making smart washer and dryers. They can tell you when they're done, obviously, or give you diagnostics if you want to know how many watts you're using during a wash cycle or something like that. So it's kind of crazy. But that's the basic. Just to give everybody an idea, I'll link everything below. I mean, price-wise, I would say I'm probably just over $1,000 into all this stuff that I just explained. But like I said, it is kind of convenient. You can set up all kinds of schedules. There's little routines just like Echo does. You can do all this stuff. I mean, the sky's the limit. I'll list the bulbs. The bulbs are fairly reasonable. They're coming down. They're like $10, $15 a piece. Still more than like an LED bulb. But like I said, they are easy. They hook up, they connect real easy. You can get them just in Wi-Fi. So if you want to do the smart things, you can just get a Wi-Fi bulb. And most of the bulbs will reset when you turn the switch off and turn it back on. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you do have the power off on the switch, the bulb won't work. So you have to have the power on, and you have to control it through your phone or through, the Echo. That's the only advantage of having the switches, is they turn on and off just like normal switches. Like, you wouldn't even really know that I have two. Obviously they got little LED lights here that say when they're off, but these two switches, I mean, it looks just like the normal switch. It just rides in a neutral position, so you can either go up or down with it. Those are nice. Like I said, they're 40 to 50 bucks a piece. A couple companies make them. I happen to have the GE Jasco ones, but I think Leviton makes them, and a couple other of the electrical, switch companies. And they also make them in standard switches. If you have, just the old flick toggle switches, they do make them in that too. So you do have that option too. So that's nice. So that's about it. If you guys like the video, make sure you like it. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. And I will link everything below. And if you have any questions, or if you want me to go into depth on something, you know, one of the things or something like that, just let me know, and I'll try to do another video. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm running in here, and that's about it. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.